arguably the creepiest Bigfoot encounter. I don't know. I find Bigfoot so stupid. Me personally, I think Bigfoot is stupid. I don't believe in him. But at the same time, I've always said this, like with all these different things, it's like, bro, there's never like good enough proof. Like a lot of the stuff you find, with like ghost aliens, Bigfoot is like crappy footage or crappy, pictures that look super, super, super like low quality. And we live in an age, obviously, for the last like 10 years, that's at least, where we can have good to insane quality detail on photos. So where is the good? I don't even care if it's not video. I just want to see a photo. And even though it's easy to Photoshop, I don't know. It's just like even just a photo would be like more believable because at least then it's like okay, maybe. But if it's literally all low quality, to me, it just seems suspicious. Because that means that no one in the age of, good quality stuff has ever been able to see anything. I don't know. Which makes me suspicious.
I'm Bob
Because,
Kim.
by the way, back in the day, it's easier to just make up stories. That's why a lot of the encounters for aliens, for example, are from, 1900s. Sounds ridiculous, but I mean, that's true. I mean, obviously, there's still encounters with aliens and whatnot in the modern day, but there's never like, oh, here's the footage. Like you never see on the news. Oh, here's footage of a UFO. You always hear of these crazy abduction stories, but you never actually see the footage. Like the first thing I'm doing when I see a UFO is not gonna be, oh, mistake. Well, maybe I wouldn't record because I'm not weird. But all right, whatever. This is Bigfoot. Doesn't even matter. It's not UFOs. Bigfoot, same thing applies. I've never really seen Bigfoot footage, but what do I know? I don't scour the internet for this stuff anyways.
And today I want to share a Hi, I'm Bob Gimlin, and today I want to share a Bigfoot report I received some time ago, and this one gave me the creeps like no other. Here it goes. Hi, Bob. My Bigfoot encounter doesn't feel like a
Okay, let me turn up the audio, bro. It's too quiet. Boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Oh, there we go.
normal Bigfoot encounter, or at least nothing as simple as bumping into a large animal. I grew up in almost Idaho, in Montana, outside of Missoula, and I was raised by my dad. My mom left us when I was a baby. Dating the first event is
So it's a
easy
red
because it
story.
happened on my 14th birthday. So if I was 14, then I guess it was 1975. Because I was
Alright, well, this says everything I need to know. I'm instantly gonna doubt this story instantly. 1975, yep. So there's gonna be no footage. There's just gonna be a eyewitness testimony, which, by the way, eyewitness testimonies are proven to not be accurate. Because even if you think you know the story or know what happened, you're gonna get something wrong. I mean, can you remember everything you've done in a day? No, you can't. You can't even remember what you've done, everything you've done in the last hour. And yes, it's different when you come into like contact with supposedly Bigfoot. Obviously, it'd be like, oh, that reminds me. Okay, I don't want to. Should I go down this rabbit hole? There's this guy who, claims that he got sexually assaulted by Bigfoot. YouTube. Okay, I'm not going there yet. We'll wait for that later.
born in 61. We were poor, not dirt poor, mind you, not even poor poor, just poor. So I wasn't expecting anything special or a party, maybe just a nice dinner and a new coat or something. But when my dad picked me up after school, as soon as I got into the car, I immediately noticed that something was weird with my dad, like he was agitated. And he spent the 20-minute drive lecturing me about these new rules. No going outside alone, no going outside at night, and weirdly enough, we're to keep the blinds shut. Naturally,
Okay,
I
this
asked
sounds
why and
stupid.
what happened, seeing as this was totally out of character for him, and he seemed to have trouble explaining himself. He said something about a bear, and we were
Oh, okay.
surrounded by farmland, so bears were not a common thing there at all. But at some point in the explanation, the bear somehow morphed into a drifter who looked like he was up to no good. And I remember thinking, well, which is it? A drifter in the woods or a bear? Or were the drifter and the bear in cahoots? Anyway, we stopped for a rare second lunch. That's what we always called it, when we'd stop for food after school, for a meal before dinner. My dad had calmed down and was apologizing.
I don't know. It's like I'm instantly super skeptical of this whole thing, and I'm only like not even 2 minutes in. The reason why is just because whenever it's this type of storytelling, it's just so hard to believe it because it feels like, oh, this is just a random story someone wrote. Like this doesn't, it's just the way he's saying it all, it just feels like it's just a story that someone wrote, not, I don't know.
For forgetting all about my birthday, which I knew was nonsense. In fact, I suspected that the second lunch was a stall tactic of some sort, and after ice cream and fries, he apologized for being uncharacteristically testy. Again, I asked what happened, because it was quite obvious that something did, and he said that he caught someone on the farm, and that they looked like they were up to no good, and that we had to be vigilant for a while.
Oh, so we're gonna claim that Bigfoot was on the farm? Is that what we're gonna claim?
Honestly, that didn't really set right with me. I did not find the answer satisfactory. But at the same time, it didn't seem like all that big of a deal because my dad was always worried about me. And just as I suspected, when we got back to the house, there was indeed a little surprise party set up. The surprise aspect was a nice effort, but we parked in front and went in through the front door, which we never did, mysteriously avoiding the back of the house where cars might be parked. I looked at him fondly and he just shrugged. Even though my mom left when I was a baby, her family was still a big part of my life, which is one of those things that I totally took for granted as a kid, and now looking back as an adult, I'm overwhelmingly grateful for. I didn't think much about it at that age, but it was like my dad had two sets of parents. He was only 17 or 18 when I was born, and he had to grow up fast, and I'm sure he appreciated the help. Anyway, the night was nice. My cousins were, and are, hellions. I had recently made the grievous error
Aliens? What does that mean? Okay.
of telling them that I was afraid of snakes, so they did everything possible to incorporate them. But at some point, my dad and my grandfather, my mom's dad, must have slipped away and had a discussion, because my dad and I spent the next 3 nights at their house, which wasn't all that unusual, because they actually lived closer to school than I did, and I've stayed there before, so it wasn't really a big deal. But looking back, I'm sure it was related to the drifter bear. We came back to the house in a few days, on a Sunday, and other than Dad being more vigilant than normal, nothing really changed. I can't recall anything unusual happening for 2 years, and I totally forgot about the drifting bear. That is, until one hot summer night. That night, I was 15 or 16, and I was lying in bed at about 11 p.m. when I noticed the porch light turn on. Light came in through my window, because my bedroom was on the first floor, and the window was on the far side of the porch, and I clearly heard the distinctive thunk of the light switch being flipped. I was half asleep, so I didn't really think much about it. Then it went off with another thunk, and then it turned on again. Back then we lived in an old farmhouse, and I don't know if the house's age had anything to do with it, but it was the type of house where you could basically hear anything from anywhere. And as the light slowly strobed, I rather suddenly became alert as I realized how atypical this was. I definitely would have heard my dad get up and walk down to the porch, and I knew it couldn't be the bulb being half burnt out or something, because I could distinctly hear the switch being flipped. I don't know how long this went on. Probably a minute, maybe 2. The light would come on.
So you're gonna claim a bear is story. Dude, this video would be better if this guy did not tell his story in the most monotone voice and actually put scary music, because right now it just seems ridiculous. Like, okay, well, I'm not gonna hate.
Then go off, and then go on again. Sometimes slower, sometimes faster. I must have been half asleep when I first noticed it, but after a minute, or however long it was, I became certain that something was wrong, and I got that sinking feeling in my stomach from when adrenaline hits. I was just very still in bed, listening intently, but there was nothing at all to hear except the soft sound of thunking, and nothing to see but the light going on and off through my window. I got out of bed, and I was a master of moving silently on those rickety wooden floors, so I was going to stealthily investigate, when all of a sudden I heard this low-pitched sound that I'll never forget. It started like a wop-wop, but in the same breath mutated into some kind of warbling giggle that grew deeper and deeper until it finally crescendoed into what I can only call a screaming laugh. And I just froze beside my bed, terrified.
Yeah,
this
I'm
was
not.
so
This is
loud.
so trash.
Now, I can't say I've ever been near a roaring lion, but I imagine that's what it was like. This was
okay. Oh, okay. This is so hard to digest. What? You're telling me there's a man laughing. You think that's a roaring lion? God, this story's delusional. It's just stupid. Absolutely. Where does Bigfoot play in this story?
ridiculously loud. Mind you, The sound seemed to come from inside the house, more so than it came through the window. I guess I mean to say that it sounded like it came more through the door than from the bedroom window that faced the porch and the side of the house. No, I didn't scream, I didn't run, I didn't move at all. And looking back, I consider this to be the first time in my life that I recall entirely being taken over by instinct. I froze like a deer. I don't think I could have moved if I wanted to. I think on a deep primal level, that was my instincts telling me to not draw any attention to myself. In that moment, I felt exactly like prey. And
What?
before the laugh even ended, I heard my dad charging out of his bedroom and down the stairs. A noise I've heard 1,000 times, but not once with this urgency. It almost sounded like he had boots on, but I could tell he didn't. His bedroom was the only room upstairs, and it was one of those houses where the second floor is more like an attic between the eaves of the roof, and the only bathroom was downstairs. So obviously I've heard him come down those stairs 1,000,000 times at night, and this was not like any of those times. So he comes charging downstairs.
That image is just that they did him dirty, bro. He looks like a crazy psychopath that is on incredible amounts of drugs with a shotgun. Why is okay, yeah,
I heard him shout the word down, so I dove under the bed. And the stairs to the second floor led directly to the front door, so he would have been able to see the front door from 2/3 down the steps. I'm smiling as I'm writing this because even 40 years later, I can remember the exact sound of my dad taking those steps. Aside from this instance, it's a fond memory of mine, because it meant my dad was nearby. But from under the bed, I heard him pause with maybe 2 or 3 steps left to take. I knew he stopped with 2 or 3 steps left because I didn't hear him hit the landing, which had a different sound than the stairs. And this I'll never forget. My daddy cursed, the SH word. Now to...
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Alright, this is really getting really ridiculous. The more I'm listening to this, the more stupid it becomes. The SH word, bro. Really? Really? We're gonna do that? We're gonna censor ourselves in this little stupid story? How old does this person claims to be born? Well, no. They were 14, 19, whatever. 75? How can you not swear at the age of whatever you are? Are you really that moral? I doubt it.
To be clear, my dad was known to swear on occasion, but I'll never forget this because it had 2 distinct syllables. She... it. I don't know why, but that always stuck with me. He turned it into 2 words, which I'd never heard before. He must have been holding his 12 gauge, because he shot from inside the house, and it shot through the door. Then I heard him leap, clearing the landing altogether and landing by the front door, and I heard it swing open. So my dad was on the porch now, and then I heard 2 more shots. And my dad was shouting basically jargon, just like one would when trying to scare off an aggressive bear. And I'd never heard my dad, or any adult, make noises like that. Just nasty yells of aggressive jargon. Then the door to my room flies open, and I know it's my dad because I heard him coming. And as soon as he turns the light on, he makes this devastated gasping noise, because he thinks I'm gone, because I'm tucked under the bed. So I tell him I'm right here, and I clamber out, and I'll never forget the relief on his face. I'm a parent and grandparent now too, and I can tell you with certainty
God, they just add unnecessary details. I don't care.
that that's love right there, when you think your kid is gone and then you find them. Which is why I never let my middle son go to Walmart ever again.
Oh, alright, dude. This is the most ridiculous story ever. Because why are oh, I can't take this seriously. I really like where's first off Bigfoot where, and you're gonna second off like, dude, why are we talking about your middle child in Walmart? I don't get it.
Anyway, he shepherded me into the living room, and onto his favorite chair, which I literally never sat on, because it was unspokenly his chair. But looking back,
What?
I realized that it was up against an interior wall, as in, not against or near any windows. Obviously, I asked what the hell was going on, and here's another thing about that weird night I'll never forget.
Dude, my eye.
He said, I don't know, my sweet little Kolachki cookie. And moment
What? What? Bro, this is no. This can't be. No, there's no way someone actually wrote this. There's no way. And they added the visuals as if I need to know. Oh my god, this is ridiculous, dude.
moments later, he called me, quote, my pudgy potato.
Okay. Where is the Bigfoot, first off? There's just no arguably creepiest. There's nothing creepy about this. It just seems like hey, some raider came to the farm. Your dad had to pull out the shotgun, put some warning shots. Maybe a bear came. Oh,
Pierogi. Few things about that. First of all, I was a very thin child, so I don't know where Pudgy came from.
oh my
Though perhaps
God,
even
bro.
more strangely, I am not Polish, and no one in my family is. And a day before these utterances were made, I would have bet $1 that he couldn't identify a kolachki or a pierogi.
What? Okay, bro. Okay. This is $1. First off, $1. We're betting $1 on that. Okay, you clearly have no. That's literally what. If you're betting on something, you don't bet $1, and this is the dumbest bet. Why is this part of the story? Who wrote this? Okay.
Seeing
Whatever.
as he didn't watch cooking shows, and the extent of his home cooking was steak and baked potatoes. So I have no
Oh
idea
my
where that
God.
came from. Maybe he was dreaming about food. I think his brain just vomited those phrases out in a word salad, produced from the relief of knowing I was okay. My dad
Uh. What?
called the
Whatever.
police, and I talked to them too. And I was there the whole time. I think my dad wanted me to be part of it, to add credibility to the story, even though I hadn't seen anything.
Why
But
did his dad? Is that the dad? Because that's not the same dad I saw earlier. It's a lot more jacked, and he doesn't. Okay, whatever. He shaved a little.
sure as hell
Well, it
heard
doesn't
it.
matter.
And I don't know why, but at some point when my dad was talking to the cops, and I had kind of zoned out, is when I realized something about what happened. So, our porch lights had 2 switches. One outside on the side of the porch by a couple outlets, but the other switch was inside, beside the front door. When I was in bed, I guess I had assumed that it was the outside switch being messed with,
Why is there?
because I
Okay,
hadn't heard
whatever.
anything inside the house. Well, it had been a hot summer's night, and all the windows had been open, and it turns out that the whatever it was had somehow removed the screen
All right. You're telling me Bigfoot came to your house, broke the door, no, whatever it's called, window, and grabbed a light switch inside the house and repeatedly did it, and then roared like a lion. Or no, sorry, laughed to a roar. Yeah, I mean, literally, this is ridiculous.
from the window by the front door, and had placed it up against the wall, right below the window, and had reached inside through the window, and was flipping the light switch that was inside the house. It's still a complete mystery how it opened the screen without breaking it, because the screen had 2 little pull tabs on the side, but they were only accessible from the inside, and the tabs were in the position to indicate that they were locked. Later, my dad and I would spend hours trying to remove the screens from the outside, without breaking the screen, or disengaging the little tabs, and it simply wasn't possible. The fit was extremely tight, and it would break before it would bend. The only
By an alpha Bigfoot. What are we gonna do now?
exposition, once he had access to the little levers, but that doesn't make sense either.
Oh, shut
So
up
my
out the
dad was
window,
unaware of
please.
any of this happening, until, of course, the screaming laugh. At which point, my dad came flying down the stairs, and halfway down the
Back to
stairs,
the
which he had to
drug
stoop
look.
down to see, he said he saw a big hairy arm withdrawing from the window, and he saw its face looking in through the little window in the door. He only saw it for a moment, but he called it, quote, a devil face. He could only see its eyes and the bridge of the nose, but he said it looked like the devil, and mad as hell. He said
Okay. So basically no evidence at all.
it looked evil, and he got a good look at it through the little glass window on the door. He didn't see much of it, but what he did see, he saw well. And that's when he shot, right through the door, below the face where its chest should have been. And he ran onto the porch, and that's when he started to yell, and he fired 2 more shots from the porch. But he didn't have sight of the creature by then, which is why he thinks that it jumped over the railing and went around the side of the house. We would have heard it if it ran across the porch, so we think it jumped over the railing first, ran around the house, and then circled back. The front of the house was flat and bare, and the night was bright enough to have seen it if it had gone straight for the tree break. He ran around the whole house in his undies, screaming like a banshee before he came back in to look for
Banshee,
me.
bro.
So outside, he shot to give the impression that he meant business. And it wasn't until he returned to the house that he realized that there was no blood on the porch. No blood, footprints, or hair either. He was utterly perplexed on
So that just means you missed your shots. Come on, very simple.
how he hadn't struck it with his first shot. He was quite certain that he'd hit it when he first pulled the trigger. In movies, they always show shotguns as blasting holes through walls. But that's not what happened here. There was just a series of small holes close together right in the door frame. The cops were very straightforward. They said that they're not filing a report, and that these things don't usually bother people, and that we should just leave them alone.
What? I mean, I almost want to believe that. That almost seems realistic. The way the cops respond, yeah, that could seem realistic until you realize it doesn't bother people. That just seems like a ridiculous. I don't believe that. It's like, oh yeah, then home invasions, they never bother people. What?
I remember that very specifically because my dad went off on them. He said, usually? Oh, they don't usually bother people? The only thing that I really remember about the cops was that they were excited about the thing's size. They tried to recreate it multiple times, to flip the switch through the open window, with their head visible in the little window on the door. And it wasn't even close to possible. My dad could barely get his whole hand flat against the door, and when I tried, I couldn't even get my elbow to the window while keeping my line of sight through the little glass pane on the door. Another thing about its size that my dad insisted upon was that he and the cops had to cock their heads more than the creature did in order to angle their elbow through the open window. My dad said that the creature's head wasn't straight up and down, but it was far less at an angle than when he or the police tried. One of the cops was a bear of a man, and he could get his arm in the window with his head straight, but his hand barely made it to the center of the door, and certainly not to the switch on the other side. My dad told the cops that it was too big to fit in through the window, but it could have busted through the door easy as pie if it had a mind to. I know this doesn't really fit into the mindset that a lot of people have about a Bigfoot cover-up or whatever, but I was there, and I specifically recall the cops saying, "We're not filing a report. We get a few calls like this every year, usually from the same people. Just let it alone." And one of the
Yeah, I mean,
cops...
I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like something a cop would say. The only realistic part of the story is that. Because let's be honest, that's just true in general with a lot of times where it's just like, oh, well, there's not enough evidence, we're not gonna do anything. Because what are they gonna do? What are they supposed to do with this? Are they really, like, are you, these people expecting, like, cops to patrol the house every single night and wait? Like, no, it's not gonna happen. So, like, that's like the only solution to this problem, and that's not gonna work. So, there you go.
told him that they don't come inside houses, and that's when my dad told them to get off his property. And after they left, my dad and I
They
had
don't
ice
come
cream,
inside houses.
and he told me about what happened 2 years ago on my 14th birthday. But you should know this first, I guess. The previous owner of the house raised hogs there, and there used to be this wallow right on the side of the house that was so
Oh, another
filthy that my
story.
dad filled it with rocks and charcoal, and then dumped a dump truck load of sand over it. And we called it a sandbox, just because my dad and I played in it a lot when I was a kid, but it was really just a sandy patch of yard. Anyway, on my 14th
Okay.
birthday, while I was at school, my dad was coming up the driveway when he saw a black figure in the sand pit. At first, he thought it was a wayward hog or something, but as he got closer, he saw it was human-shaped, only much larger, somehow both lankier and stouter than a person. Its position was peculiar. He said it was on its knees, pulling sand towards its
I'm
chest,
sorry, this is-
simultaneously digging a hole and making a mound. Dad didn't have a gun on him or anything, and he just kept driving.
This image is so just ridiculous to look at. So you're claiming that you are driving to your house. You look at your house, you see this massive gorilla thing and you live in the middle of a farmland, and you just casually go the next day, all right, I'm gonna live in this house. No, that house is owned. That's not my house anymore. I don't care how much money I spend. I'm not leaving. Actually, no, because if I was dead broke, I don't know the financial situation, but the point is, the average person is not going to live in that house anymore. They're just going to be like, yeah, I'm selling it right here, right now. That's what's going to happen.
Toward the house, trying to figure out what he was looking at. Dad said his first thought was that it was a man in bearskin, but that hypothesis didn't last long. And as soon as he got close enough to see that it was absolutely nothing he'd ever seen before, he drove straight at it and laid on the horn. And it sprang up and ran to this tree line that serves as a windbreak there, and it followed the break all the way to the woods, screaming the whole time, a much higher pitched and shrill noise than you would think a creature that large could make. Dad said the thing galloped like a horse. That's a good question. Looking back, I don't know if he meant it ran like a horse as a reference to speed, or if it
Oh
actually
my
ran on
God.
all fours.
Huh, I wonder which one it could be. Maybe gallop like a horse. When someone says gallop like a horse, what do you think? Do you think help the speed? No! Like, what? This is such a bad story because the person is asking dumb questions.
I took it to mean that it ran fast and fluidly, but now you've got
Oh
me
my
wondering.
God. You got
He
me
described it
wondering.
as a goblin. He said it had no ears, a bald head, but hair around the sides like a balding man. Its skin and fur was jet black. It had impossibly long arms, impossibly broad
I mean, look
shoulders,
at those
a big butt,
biceps.
shovel.
Now, okay, now I have to research. I know this is stupid research, but let's look at a picture of a gorilla. Like, flexing, maybe? Flexing. What did that say? FL. Whatever. Stop. Can't spell. Okay, well. Yeah, no, they don't have biceps. Dude, what? Why do people fantasize about this? Like, what is this? Dude. Oh my God, this is just ridiculous. Who, like, the reality is someone, oh my God, this is just crazy town. I don't, like, dude, they really just took a black man flexing and they just added a, oh my God. All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is yeah, that's crazy town. I don't know how to feel. And dude, okay, Mr. Olympia, like, dude, what's going on? Whatever. So
Like
basically, what I'm getting at is that this bicep right here, tricep, it's a little too muscular.
hands, a small head, thin lips, a wide mouth, and he said it had deep creases running across its forehead. He said it looked annoyed, like it was unhappy to be bothered, like it wanted to flee, but really wanted to finish whatever it was doing before leaving.
I mean, that's a stupid segment because I feel like even if it was a human, wouldn't you be annoyed if someone was honking the horn at you while you're doing something? Like, you wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm happy. No.
Dad called our closest neighbor, who lived about a quarter of a mile away. I guess the neighbor had on occasion asked my dad very strange questions that hadn't made any sense until the sighting. My dad told him exactly what he saw, and I guess the marks in the sand were pretty compelling too. This neighbor was super religious, the scary over-the-top kind, and he wasn't surprised by my dad's statement at all, and he said that they'd been having issues at their place too. And he said that he even called the police after one of them broke into, and then apparently spent the night and defecated in a tractor.
Okay. 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 Yeah, no, at this point, I just, like, I don't know, dude. I just gotta be, like, a police report or something I can look at that has evidence this is... Because at this point, if you're calling the police about a Bigfoot in a tractor that's defecating and living in the tractor, which, by the way, I don't know how that works, I feel like there's, like, police would be there and reporting it, and there'd be, like, a thing to look at, and I don't know, it's like, I would need further research to even think about believing this because this sounds utterly ridiculous. How do you live in a tractor? I mean, explain to me that one. Like, okay, I mean, this tractor, you know what? Let's look at pictures of tractors because maybe that tractor doesn't uh do it justice, you know? Um, yeah, so I mean, I guess you could I don't know, where are you defecating? Oh, in the seats? Like, and you think too, by the way, if it's defecating in a tractor, that scientists would be like, oh, I need the poop for my lab study, but no.
He said that a little one stole clothes from a clothesline and has been wearing his wife's sundress for about a year. He said he'd called the police multiple times, and that half the time they told him the same thing they told my dad, and the other half of the time they gaslighted him. So my dad
Guess what? Okay, I'm sorry. This is just no. This is too far gone. I don't believe this for a
and his
second.
neighbor guy, who was 30 years older than my dad, poked around the pit, and they found a bunch of stuff under this mound. And I guess this is what freaked my dad out the most. The mound wasn't random. It was burying stuff. Among the contents there, he found several magnets that used to be on our fridge, along with a little notebook we used for grocery lists.
No, okay, now, I know it's gonna sound ridiculous, but I do know that, there's cases of bears getting into houses. You ever seen that clip of a bear, like, oh, I might as well pull it up. Let me, go on YouTube. And bear entering house. Blackbird, like, see, there's all these, things, like, um,
He's hungry. Bro, if they're hibernating, it's actually not that big though.
That's a
What do we do?
oh my god, this is just... Alright, maybe I shouldn't watch this, because this is disaster waiting to happen.
let him in.
Let him in? Oh, this is not...
He's just hungry.
But the way he opens
Galen!
up
Galen! Galen! Guys.
Okay. Oh!
Guys. No,
Yeah, that
dude,
bear
this
does
is
not
good.
care.
This is not good. Someone has to go outside.
I didn't even
kidding.
open the
Okay.
door, but I've seen a clip of a bear opening a door. So basically when they say, like, hey, the magnets is, oh, the magnets are taken, off my fridge, it could be a bear. Because there's been... I've literally... Okay, I gotta find the clip, dude. I've seen a clip of a bear entering a house and just stealing food from the fridge. I know for a fact I've seen that. I mean, bear entering house and stealing food. Okay, bro. Oh, there it is.
A bear was inside of their house looking for food in their kitchen. Now, usually bear encounters are dangerous, but this bear was really nice. It couldn't find any food in the fridge, so it closes it, and he was about to leave. However, he forgot to clean up his trash, so he also carries out his paper plate. Imagine meeting this dude. A bear was
Oh, I
inside of
didn't
their
even
house.
close the door. Okay, bro. Yeah, I mean, oh, by the way, if this ever happened to me, I would probably, I don't know. I'd probably install, like, if I would have to figure out a way to get rich, I can get security guards on the premise with guns, ready to shoot and hunt bears, and we would be eating a feast. Let me tell you. Okay. Just kidding. I don't know if I want to eat bear meat, especially bear meat that is... Actually, no, you have to... Okay, this is getting ridiculous. This is out of control. But basically, you have to... You have to eat the meat of a bear that entered your house and tried to steal your food because that's my food, and now you're my food. I'm obviously joking because I don't have balls to eat bear meat, bro. I don't know what that bear's done, and also I'm not rich enough. I don't know. The point is, I have no clue what I'd do if a bear entered my house and stole my food. If that happened, honestly, I would probably leave the house immediately. I would probably leave and move to a place with no bears because, frankly, I'm not trying to risk having another encounter like that. Because, like, imagine how bad it would be to, like, live in a house knowing that the doors could be just open, no, even if they're locked. Like, ooh.
We had never noticed that they had gone missing, so who knows when they were taken. These items were all within reach of the kitchen window, assuming you had a very, very long arm. There was also a photo of me. It used to be pinned inside my dad's truck, and he said he never noticed it was missing. But the weirdest thing, to me, that he found buried in the sand were all the angels. There were 12 different depictions of angels. Some were little stone or ceramic yard ornaments. Some looked like Christmas tree decorations. And some were very heavy.
That's a Christmas tree decoration? Oh, whatever.
Expensive lawn ornaments. And the plastic ones all looked like they had spent a very long time outside. The neighbor wasn't surprised at all by this. To him, these creatures were devils, and they live everywhere that humans do, woods or not. He thought it was obvious that there are devils among us, and that they would be repulsed by holy representations. I, however, do not agree with this, and though I don't think that to be the case, I do think that's what freaked my dad out the most. He wasn't the type to be particularly freaked out by something like a Bigfoot. I think it would have been more intriguing to him than anything. But once
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's a really, really dumb thing to say. It's saying, like, it's like saying, oh, my dad would be intrigued by bears and not be scared if he saw a black bear in the wild hunting him. Like, no, I think that every single person in the world who has survival instinct would instantly want to fight back or run.
decided that maybe they're demons or something. I think that's what got him thinking. No, my dad never went to church or anything like that, but I definitely think he was God-fearing, so to speak. But I guess he'd never considered that demons try to get into your house. Literally. Anyway.
I'm gonna be honest, this video made me laugh more than actually I expected, so that's interesting. I'm not gonna like it though. And this got 1.1 million views? Really? Just makes me sad, because, like, dude, I can't get... I'm never gonna... Well, okay, don't say that, but some people get a million views over dumb stuff like this. This story was just bad. It just felt ridiculous. And if it's real, I feel awful, but it just sounds like someone wrote a story. Like, a 5-year-old, like, heard about Bigfoot and wrote the story. Except that they knew about lions, which well, okay, a 5-year-old might know about lions. Yeah, imagine walking through woods and running to a Bigfoot in a summer dress. I think I'd have to be checking myself out into a mental hospital. Yeah. What? Whoever submitted the story is an excellent writer. She's funny and adds lots of detail to a 50-year-old story that makes it just much more believable. Bruh. Okay, so we're telling me that this story is believable when they say, oh, Bigfoot got caught wearing a sundress. Like, no, no. I don't know. This whole thing just seems ridiculous. Also, the whole, like, the Bigfoot screamed, and actually, no, it started as a laughter, and then it turned to a roar like a lion. Like, dude, get out of here. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to clown this person too much because that would be evil. Because you never know. This story could be real, but I just my doubts. I would honestly bet my entire bank account that this story is not real. The problem with doing this, if I lose, I'm gonna look like a fool. On the topic of Bigfoot, let me find that one. Oh, Peter Caine dog training. So basically, Bigfoot used me as a baby, grown man cries. Yep, this, yeah. Bigfoot abducted me and forced me to do things. Investigated by major university. There's a whole playlist. 8. Oh my god. This is the guy I was talking about earlier, by the way. Female Bigfoot forced me to do it. Too drunk to pork Bigfoot. Bigfoot used me to have a baby. Why is... Okay, this is just when... Okay. The rest of the playlist went random. Like, deported? Really? Whatever. Dude, okay. Well, we gotta watch one of these. Probably gonna watch... this
About
one.
a week ago.
I'm not gonna watch all these because it's just a waste of time. But I mean, because he has like 10,000 videos on this stupid topic.
Well, I was right over there by that line of trees, and I was looking for my phone, and I found my phone, and right when I found my phone, I got bum rushed by a female Bigfoot. She dragged me into the woods and started carrying me sort of like a sack of potatoes.
What?
And I shit you not, she was running 45 miles an hour.
40
up hills and stuff.
45 miles per hour. It's pretty funny, bro.
You know, I couldn't get away. I was stuck. We get back to the Sasquatch den, and that's when it got really weird.
The Sasquatch
She made me
den?
take off my clothes. I didn't want to take them off. You know? Are you kidding me? I did not want to take them off, and she made me strip naked. And then she picks me up and starts carrying me like a baby. And no, I didn't get a boner. It moved a little bit.
What?
But then it dawned on me, it's like fucking a Sasquatch. That would be like fucking, you know, a German woman. You know, a real hairy German woman. No, thank you.
Bro, this guy's crazy.
So she's carrying me like this, and I can tell she wants me to breastfeed.
What?
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, you know? I'm very clear. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have anything to do with that. So she takes her hands and she opens my mouth like that and puts it on her breast and pushes down. And I didn't want to do it. I swear to God. I didn't want to do it. And Since I had my phone, I did get a quick video.
I
Check it
want
out.
to see this.
Mom, please let me go. I won't tell anybody, I promise. Please let me go. See, I didn't want to do it.
Oh my god.
This is not anything that was fun. It was horrible. It gets worse.
Oh, does it really?
Right after I've drank like a gallon of her... By the way, it does taste like honey. It does. It's delicious.
What?
But after I drank a gallon of it, you know, I'm feeling kind of sick. Here comes a male Sasquatch.
A
Carrying a
Sasquatch?
cub with him. And the cub's about my size. You know?
A cub?
She just fucking throws me on the floor like I'm a piece of trash or something. She doesn't care about me anymore. You know, her cub's back. She wanted to raise me like...
Okay, I think what makes this all the more funny... What is this? What is that in the background? Also, I know I shouldn't interrupt his amazing story, but, basically, let's just say... Oh, shoot, now I forgot. Wow, dang it, but, how do you drop your phone in the woods? Can I ask that? That's the real question, because this all started because this idiot dropped a phone in the woods and just forgot. Like,
Wild
what?
boy or something. You know, she wanted to make me hers. That's not the way that it works. I had no other choice in the matter. And then as I'm sitting there, I'm, you know, sitting with my ass on the ground, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm feeling rejected, but like, I'm not good enough. You know? I'm not good enough now. The male Bigfoot picks me up and just throws me out of the den. Remember, I don't have any clothes. She made me take them off, and I left them in the den. So then I have to walk home. You know, it was humiliating. It's humiliating. I got one picture and one video, and that's it.
I want to see
so
the picture.
Check them out again. Here's the video.
I don't want to see this, bro.
And here's the picture.
Okay, bro.
It was horrible, but it was also very delicious. Sasquatch milk, not bad.
No, I think the best part, I've watched like a bunch of his videos, but I think the best part of this like whole series where he gets like attacked by Bigfoots. Also, where's the major university? Explain to me, Bigfoot used me to have a baby grown man cries is such a diabolical title. But like he's a dog training channel and he went from this to like crazy town stuff. It's just like, bro, what is going on? I think the funniest part is this guy had to be creative with it. He spent all this time plotting how to make this video, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, imagine plotting about this stuff. It's such a weird thing to think about. Like, oh, the milk tasted like honey. Like, what? Why are you, like, why are you thinking about this? Man, this guy's crazy. It's delusional. Alright, whatever. We'll watch one more.
This is where it happened this spring. And I come back here because I want to conquer my fears. But I never come back here without a gun or without a dog. I have Jupiter with me.
Jupiter.
Now Jupiter doesn't seem real big, but he's a tough dog. And all Bigfoot and Sasquatch are afraid of dogs. This is a fact. Look, I was molested. I was molested by a Sasquatch. It's a fact. And hearing all this in the news of like Al Franken and Roy Moore and Donald Trump, it just brings it all back. It's like I got PTSD, so I'm watching TV and I see this about our president molesting people, and I'm thinking, I've been molested. You know, nobody wants to help me. I've been molested by a Sasquatch, and I know a lot of people are saying that it wasn't a female Sasquatch, that it was a male Sasquatch, and it wasn't. It was a female. I'm not gay.
What?
I'm not.
Bro, this guy's
like
priorities straight.
It was a female Sasquatch. I didn't want it to happen. I was back here minding my own business, looking for my dog. I was looking for my dog, and it's like she barreled out of the bushes and knocked me over and started pulling my pants off. You know? It felt good. I admit it felt good. I blew my load. It's horrible. I don't know how I'm gonna get over this. Jupy, what am I gonna do? The only thing that I can do is keep coming back here.
Bro wants
What
to
the
get a okay. He wants the Bigfoot to actually like do it again, bro.
I'm gonna see that Sasquatch. I'll see that Bigfoot. She'll be sorry for what she did to me. You'll be sorry when you did Sasquatch to Peter Caine. That was a huge mistake. The worst part about it was that, yeah, it did feel good. That's why, but it was biological. I just blew my load because I had to.
It was biological.
I had no choice. She got on top of me and was riding it home. She didn't even give me a rimmer. She raped me. She didn't even give me a rimmer. She didn't even give me a rimmer. She
Oh my
just
God.
fucking used me for my sperm. I know she's got my baby out there in the woods. If I find her and she's
A
got my baby,
Bigfoot
I'm
baby.
taking
That's
my
crazy.
baby.
That's crazy.
I'll raise that cub.
Why does he refer to Bigfoot babies as cubs? This doesn't even make sense. Like, dude, a cub is like a stupid. Wait, what is a cub? Rare?
I'll call it Chaka. Oh God, I want to get revenge. Oh, Sasquatch, you're dead to me. How dare you do that? She didn't even kiss me.
Why? Okay, dude.
She didn't even give me a rimmer, God damn it. All this stuff in the news, and I'm the one I'm suffering. Nobody wants to help me.
Okay.
Nobody even wants to give on my Patreon account. I didn't even get a rimmer.
Bro,
Oh, Joopy, what am I gonna do?
it's so
Here's the
weird.
tree that she knocked out after she had sex with me.
Oh my
It was
god.
like she stood up and knocked it down. She was so excited because I was so good. I was great.
Well, I
I'm
want to see this tree.
sure. That's the tree that
Yeah,
she...
how much do you want to bet? By the way, this guy fantasized about a Bigfoot having had fun with him because he saw a tree knocked down, and he thought, how am I going to incorporate this into a video?
She knocked out. See, that's proof this really fucking happened.
Oh, that's undeniable proof. Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend checking out the whole series. He's got a... Oh, there's a video. Might have to watch that. I mean, he's got a whole series. Let's see what his most popular videos. The dog
Well,
looks
on a honey
ashamed
trip, my
of the owner. I mean, I think the funniest part is this guy. Okay, what? What is going on with Bigfoot cooks?
Here we have one Bigfoot hand and arm.
What?
And I'm going to cook it, and I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to give it to the whole neighborhood. This Bigfoot really made a mistake when he came onto my land. Yum, yum.
What? Okay. Oh, my recommended's gonna get ruined. Okay, I probably should stop. What? Because it's like so weird because like, no, this channel's all over the place. Never mind. Real Mermaid? Okay, yeah, no, this is the Frog Man. Okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't give it credit at all. I don't know. Like, some of his stuff seems like it could be legit, but the other stuff, I don't know. It's supposed to be a dog training video, but then he goes to Bigfoot. And then he's talking about mermaids, and I don't know. So let's see what's the most popular. Bigfoot head frozen since 1953. Only proof of the existence of Sasquatch. Oh my god.
You can tell the immense size of the creature by
That's-
comparing it to my head. My father
What?
shot the Bigfoot in 1953. They had to cut it up to get it out of the swamp.
Who's
I have all
they?
the body parts. When my father passed away, that was given to me. It's been very expensive for my father, my family, to keep the Bigfoot.
Expensive?
Frozen for that many years. It was
Oh.
always in a commercial freezer. It's
A
always
commercial
wrapped up,
freezer? Is that really expensive?
with several layers to keep it. It looks in pretty good shape considering that
I don't
it's
know.
been frozen
Good shape. I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, what is that?
for 65 years. Now let me take the camera in so that you guys can look
Oh no.
closer at the Bigfoot. It's, by the way, I've taken a lot of shit on my YouTube channel, people saying that I'm always making jokes. This is not real. This is real. Not everything in my life is a joke. This Bigfoot head, the Bigfoot, I've showed the Bigfoot's feet, its arms, its penis. I've shown
What?
the Bigfoot.
Did he actually? Okay, no, I'm not gonna find that because
But
that'd be
that's
bad.
real. Not everything's a joke. Yeah, I do joke around, but this is not a joke. This is real. Check it out. You can see it has a lot of ice on it. It has remained frozen. You can see
Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at.
its eyeball there. This
That's
is very
an eyeball.
heavy. It weighs about 120 pounds.
What?
So I can't move it by myself. I have to have somebody help me move it.
Okay, no.
There's a lot of debris still frozen in it.
What? Okay. This guy takes the joke of Bigfoot way too far, but I think the funny part is like, it's like semi-real. I don't know. I don't know what to think. No, I know what to think. I know this is fake. If honestly, the worst part is this is probably the best footage I've seen of any proof of Bigfoot ever from this channel. Like, this is the closest to real proof that he exists, and it's a joke. Like, that's how unbelievable this whole Bigfoot thing is.
I have somebody here to help me move it
Okay.
so that we can see the other side.
Did he say What? Pickled? What does that even mean, bro? Oh, wow, that's a... Oh, wow, it's a mighty beast. Now, seriously, though, where do you find this? Like, where do you find this prop? Like, those teeth look real.
If you compare the Bigfoot's head to my head, you can see, one, it looks nothing like a human. And, well, it looks a little bit like a human, but the size difference, it's immense. It's absolutely immense. The Bigfoot head alone weighs 120 pounds, give or take. And you figure it's been frozen for many years, so it's probably lost some weight. It's probably dried out in the freezer some. So it's well over 120 pounds, just the head alone.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
It does have
that's
ears under
ridiculous.
there. We could,
Did he say antlers?
don't really have rubber gloves on. You can see part of the ear there.
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know where you find this. Where do you find this? Like, how do you... I don't even think you found it. I think he just made this. Like, this is a crazy... Like, he's a sculptor now, apparently.
You can see its eye on this side is very dehydrated and sunken in. The mouth is very strange. It's almost has like a death grin.
Yeah, it looks like a human. Oh, yeah, believable there.
Here you can see the other side of the face now. It's an absolutely gigantic. It weighs so much. It's so heavy. It weighs, you know, like I said, it's about 120 pounds.
Bro doesn't know what to say. He
I
just
can't
says
lift it by
120 pounds
myself.
over and over.
My neighbor here helping me.
Whatever. I don't know what to think anymore. What's the quality of this video, by the way? Oh, it's 360. Oh, shoot. It's 360p. I didn't even realize that the whole time. Oh my god. Alright, well, that's my bad, I guess. Great reaction right there. 360p video quality we reacted to. That's fantastic. I mean, to be honest, it looks the exact same in 1080p, so
Its
what's
eyeballs
the
are
difference?
really fucking strange. Get a close-up of its eyeball.
Oh, alright, get out of here. Just, I don't want to see
Dang
that.
it.
Stop.
Bigfoot has always been part of my family.
What?
And
Okay.
just so everybody knows, it will be in the museum, the Bigfoot Museum of North America. There's also
What? Wait, is this real? Bigfoot Museum of North America. What? It's a real thing? In Oregon? What? No way. What? It's only $8? Dude, I might... Okay. This is somewhere I might have to, like, write down on my phone quickly. I'm not gonna remember this, but dude, I might need to... If I ever go to Oregon, I might need to visit this museum. What are they... Oh, now I'm curious what's here. Like, what could possibly be here about Bigfoots? Can I get, like, a... There's a membership at home? Okay, so if you live, here, I guess, can you, like, where's that? Wherever this is, have fun.